Hi! Can everyone hear me? We're good? I saw that you went to CCM actually. That was one of the main reasons I wanted to interview you because I grew up in Cincinnati and I'm actually here right now.
Oh my God, where are you?
I'm in Montgomery. I'm at my parents' house. Did you grow up here or only for college?
Only for college. I'm originally from New York. I went to LaGuardia Arts High School. I was a drama major there. So I was like, I want to get an experience outside of Manhattan for a change. And then I got into CCM. It was a great program. And I was like, all right, let's go there. I'm currently in Savannah, Georgia. I'm filming for a new Hulu series that's supposed to come out.
Oh, so you're booked and busy right now.
Booked and busy, girl.
So is this the first project that you worked on in the post-COVID world?
It's not. I shot something for Netflix called Social Distance, and it was the same team who wrote Orange is the New Black. It was basically capturing what life was like in the pandemic for like various different groups of people. And like, so each episode was a different group of people dealing with the pandemic. It was all shot from home. It was all shot in my bedroom. And I had to like be my own camera person, my own lighting person. They sent someone over to do sound, but they were like outside and like in my basement. That was like June, July. And then it was Girl in the Woods.
So I'm guessing filming all of that yourself and doing all that setup really changed your perspective on the whole production process.
Yeah, definitely very different than just like being on a set and like being taken care of. It was crazy.
It feels great to be back on set though and working on a show again. It must, right?
Definitely. And with this group of people especially, it was surreal. It was everything that I like had needed, especially coming out of the pandemic. Like going to Oregon was the most beautiful place I think I've ever been. Like I think it's like right up there with like Colorado and stuff. Like it was stunning, and the people were just unreal. Like they're the most like talented, unique, inspiring, beautiful individuals who come from all different walks of life and have such interesting personal stories. And it was just such a gift. I was just so grateful the whole time that I was there. I was like, this is freaking surreal. So
whenever you can tell that people are enjoying making something, it makes it so much more special. The relationship between the director and the people creating the show is so vital to how the final show turns out. I was originally just gonna ask about working with Kristen Ritter, but since it sounds like you enjoyed working with a lot of people, what's something that you learned from the people that you were working with that you think you're really gonna take with you to the future shows, or just like a really special moment you had working?
That's a loaded question because I learned so much. There was working with the stunt team, like James Liu and all of them. That was, I learned martial arts. I learned like the deep depths of, what that art form is like technically all about it and also spiritually about it, and like the breath work that goes into it. And like I found like a new therapeutic kind of outlet. Working with Kristen was amazing. She was like super mama bear, like so nice, so open, funny, strong. Like I knew that like she loved it. I think she was so grateful to have us as a team. Like she was so happy to be there and loved all of us. And you could really, like, I say she's mama bear because I felt so safe working with her. She is just like a grounded, strong, like literal superwoman. Like she just had her baby and decided to do this project. She like just had, like her baby was like a couple of months old, I think. And she decided to do this project. And I was like, oh my God, like that's insane. And she, like being an actor, she knew exactly how to talk to us, exactly how to communicate to us. It was very clear and an efficient way of working. She knew exactly how to get everything she wanted. I felt so comfortable to like voice my opinion to her and her to like just fully take over and be like, okay, we're gonna figure this out. Like, like full mama bear protector, it was awesome. I learned so much just about people and everybody, because there's a lot of LGBTQ representation, obviously on screen and off screen, and hearing and learning about where these people have come from and how they have developed as human beings was just the most interesting thing. They're the most interesting people I've ever met, I think, in my whole life. Being with people who are so established and so truly and confidently themselves was like surreal, like to learn from and to be around and to share the stage with was incredible.
Seeing your face light up when you're talking about it, I can just tell how special it was for you, and that's so awesome for you to have that experience.
It was, and an incredible like makeup and hair team too. They really like killed it, and the special effect. I mean, Crip TV, they're like next level talent. Like these monsters look insane. Like it's awesome. And also, I thought originally that all the monsters were going to be like animation, like CGI or stuff. And they actually brought in like movers, like people to embody monsters and then put them in costumes. And it was like, oh my God, like, the production level was insane.
With Crips TV being a all supernatural production company, which I think is super cool. And I'm really curious, especially with the SFX actually like being on set and not added in post-production, like from the other side, what is it really like to immerse yourself into this other world?
It was crazy. From a film perspective, you're like, oh, wow, cool. Like you're distracted by how of the illusions that we've created, but watching the illusions unravel themselves and seeing technically what was happening behind the scenes was witnessing a whole other type of magic. Watching them put together the things and the makeup and they had all these kind of like crazy contraptions that can like splurt out blood, like all the like looking at the technicalities of how they were creating the magical world was like watching the magic. I mean, the whole thing was a new experience for me. I think I've never really delved in that deep into stunt work, and so that was a new world for me. That was so fun. Like I'm a dancer, CCM. It was really cool to learn that stunt work is really like choreography and is really much like a dance with just like more emphasis in certain areas. So that exploring that world for me was really, really cool, along with like all the special effects and stuff and creating the cave and creating what's behind the door. And we actually built the entire mine. We were in a warehouse and they actually built it, and you could get lost in this thing. Like it was huge. Like you could just like walk around and actually get lost. Like it was ginormous, but it was just so crazy to see it, these like sculptures in a way. I can explain it like that. It was like creating like art sculptures, and I was just around insane art all the time, which was definitely new. I've never done horror. I've never done anything kind of sci-fi, and I love watching sci-fi. And so it was really great to actually like see how these things are created.
Loving the sci-fi genre, do you have a show or a movie that's at the top of your list that like really heavily influenced how you worked on this show?
I definitely, like, first reading the script, I thought of Stranger Things, because you have the trio of kids, you've got the monsters and, the mythical world blending into reality. So I thought of like Stranger Things. With approaching my character and the colony, before I knew that the colony was kind of like this cult-like mythical world, I kind of was thinking of Sara as like this badass superhero. So anything Marvel, I guess, is what I'm trying to say there. Also kind of like Hunger Games in a weird way. Yeah, one of our I literally walked out and I was like, we're in the Hunger Games.
It sounds like it might be the mines, but did you have a favorite set that you were just so excited to be on, or a favorite set to film on?
Oh, that's hard. I gotta say there's two. Aside from the mines, behind the door, I called it the cave. It's not really a cave. It's just like, we were filming in a really big warehouse, and they had brought in volcanic rock. Like it looked like volcanic rock or like sand, like black sand, and they had it all over the floor in the warehouse. And the whole thing is like pitch black the whole time, because this is taking place in the outpost where Carrie and also later Sara is guarding. And so the outpost was a really cool place because you're just walking on this black sand everywhere and everything was so dark, and that was really, really cool and exciting for me because it was just like an abyss, and I was like, whoa, this is insane. And also where the colony takes place, we were in this field surrounded by trees, and Oregon is the most beautiful place ever. The trees, there are so many different kinds of trees, and the air is so crisp and fresh. There's no humidity. Being out in that air was just so special and so beautiful. It was like, oh my God, real oxygen, like being from New York City, like polluted air. And then I was just in fresh wilderness, and I'm such a nature baby. And I got to hike everywhere and explore different areas, which was so surreal. I saw waterfalls, and the mountains there are just, unreal. But where we shot a lot of the colony stuff was gorgeous.
It looks, when they first showed the colony, I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to like these people, but this whole gardening setup in the woods that you have really looks like the dream.
It was. It's funny that you say you're not sure if you're supposed to like these people. It's actually a good thing that you kind of feel that way, because I think that's kind of a part of the whole mystery is like, who are these people? What's going on here? But I love that we kind of did create this like haven almost. And it totally felt like one while we were there too, just because the nature was such a huge aspect to the show.
Yeah, I love that. Elaborating more on Sara, and do we have a ship name yet? Is it Sari or is it Kara, or do you get to be the one to decide?
Yeah, Sari or Kara, I guess you could say. There's something I also really love about the show is how much it's so normalized. The LGBTQ representation is just kind of unfolding as the story goes on. Where our main focus is figuring out how to save the town. And, through introducing these characters, there's so much diversity that's just being unfolded. And it's so casual and normalized that these people are, dealing with navigating their gender identities. And it's just so a part of the story, and just how, you can build special connections with almost anybody that you meet, and you can find family within people that are not your immediate family. And I think that's something that's so beautiful and just casually put out for you on a platter when you're watching the show.
That's definitely a really special aspect of modern media. I don't know if you feel the same way I do, but I just strongly anticipate that a lot of people are going to be in support of them, just because seeing how many sapphic ships have huge followings and fan bases, and seeing you guys have the chemistry and all the groundwork there for a lot of people to support them, how that feels for you when portraying.
Feels amazing to know that support is there. That is so beautiful. Day one of me meeting Stefanie, that was the first day that I worked also with the stunt team and met the stunt team. So immediately was like, hi, I'm Stefanie. Hi, I'm Kylie. Oh, so nice to meet you. Hug. Okay, now let's fight each other. It was here's choreography. We're getting down to it. We're getting physical. Let's go. And, we ran a very tight ship. So we were thrown in from the get-go. We had that. We had to get very close and comfortable physically. The friendship and the relationship came so much more naturally, just because we had to be so close so quick. And we were just very comfortable with each other. And Stefanie was so flexible and fun and funny while we were doing the things, and very adaptable. We were making sure that each other was safe the whole time, but, really checking in with each other, but also getting to know each other physically to create this choreography really helped establish a friendship and a comfortability and a vulnerability that could just be right there, because we had to get so close so quick. Yeah, that added a lot to our relationship.
Oh, without giving too many spoilers away, I guess, what was a really challenging or a really exciting stunt scene that you personally worked on that you're either really proud of or just had a really good time working on it?
Our stunt doubles were incredible. They were the ones that were, helping us out with minor technical things to make things look really solid. They were so talented. So I guess the hard part was oh God, can we look like them? Can we do it? So we gave it our best. The hardest day was there's a moment where we're fighting in the colony, and we're up on this stage, this wooden circle, but it was smaller than what we intended. And so we had to kind of like under cheat everything to like make it work so we wouldn't like fall off and die. But it was a really fun challenge, and it came out great, I think. And overall, I think everything was challenging, though. You know, really making sure that we made the fighting look realistic and also truthful to what true, martial arts or Tai Chi really is. And so we don't look like amateurs. You know, we were always working and striving to make things look better, whether it was like, you know, like your hip being like more in or this way, or, you know, you're punching like this as opposed to this. Like it was, you know, very specific technical work, but I love those challenges. I think that's what makes me a better actor. And I also loved it. It was a newfound passion for me. I like getting technical. I like taking small notes and delivering.
Was it definitely a challenge at first to memorize like the choreography of your stunt work and have that like playing through your head of what's coming next, but still immersing yourself in the character?
The two went hand in hand. I think, I mean, from a technical point of view, being a dancer gave me a huge advantage. Memorizing choreography wasn't hard for me. As far as, you know, it taking me out of character or, you know, trying to focus on two things at once, I really felt I felt more connected to Sara through her physically than thinking like, oh, these are two separate things. Like, I think I was fully embodying her and like all the things that she represents. You know, she's so brave. She's so fierce. She knows like what she wants and how to get there, and she will do it with grace, but she will also follow the rules. And she's so fierce. And so through the fighting, I was able to really embody all of these components of her. So I wasn't really ever taken out. It kind of gave me more oomph. And honestly, the movement informed more to me of her character than anything. I think something to know about Sara is that while she is a fierce warrior, she wears her heart on her sleeve. And there is a vulnerable part to her that makes her so brave and wanting. You know, people are fighters for a reason. It's because they've been knocked down. And so there is a strong vulnerability to her character, and she does wear her heart on her sleeve, especially with Carrie, and, you know, finding a friend in her and being so close to her. That's also a huge part of who she is, and I just don't want anybody to miss that, but I don't think that they will. You'll have to see their relationship unveil. That's really the lesson that Sara is there to represent, is that even the toughest warriors have a soft side, and they're still human beings too, and they're, you know, where they get their fire comes from a place of hurt and betrayal and brokenness. That's just a big thing, I think, Sara.
Obviously, Carrie and Sara is going to be like the main thing, but is there another character that you would say you feel like your scenes, like Sara's scenes with them, are really special, or that you're really looking forward to seeing come to life?
A lot of my scenes are in the colony. I would die for a season 2 and to, you know, do some things with Nolan and Tasha. I think that would be crazy if those worlds start colliding. I would love to see that. My whole journey is kind of with Carrie, and we kind of always end up circling back to one another. So I'm interested to see and excited to see how that unveils and how that presents itself. And also the scene work with Will's character, who plays Arthur on the show, because I have like this little funny theory that I like to create, that because we haven't really established Sara's like family or where Sara came from. So I have this theory that Arthur could potentially be my father. So I'm interested to see how the scenes where we are together, what the dynamic is like, because Arthur is one of the mentors of the colony. Obviously, Sara is trying her best to, you know, be one of the main disciples. And so I'm interested to see how it all comes out, I guess. I'm excited for it all. I'm really excited to see how all the special effects mixed with, you know, visually how everything came out. I think a lot of people are saying that it's really nice that we have such a diverse cast and we are at the forefront of the screen. We are not on the sidelines. You know, we are really pushing the story along. I'm really excited to see that because I really like that too. I like seeing that on screen where, you know, I just find it more relatable because we all, you know, look different. We're all individual and have so much to bring to the table. So I love when, I love inclusive entertainment. Who doesn't? I'm excited to see it. I'm so excited to see it.
I'm excited for you to see it. I didn't know that you hadn't seen it yet.
No, none of us have seen anything.
I definitely want to wrap up, so I'm not taking up too much of your day, but from table reads, do you remember a specific scene in like the table read where you were like, oh, I can't wait for this to come to life? Or you like any scene in the table read that you had a very strong reaction to?
Probably when the characters, they decide to do the monster hunt. I guess there's not like one specific moment. I also don't want to give anything away, but I think the sass and the modern humor that is revealed through Nolan and Tasha's character, that's what made me so excited. I was like, oh, this is like a mythical world of like with monsters and fighting, like yes, but then it's also like, and so I thought it was going to be very like dark. And it's like, no, this thing is funny and it's relatable to teenagers, and like just some of the lines that I think Nolan says is so funny, and yeah, just they're wacky characters. They're very contemporary. There's so much more humor than what I thought, and that's what made me so excited. How the jokes were landing, how they were being delivered. I was like, oh my God. Casey's a genius. Casey's amazing. I'm so blown away by how seamlessly she was able to tie in so much. Like there's something for everyone in this show. I really feel it. There's so much for people to relate to, whether that's, you know, family, gender identity struggle, friendship, loss, you name it. There's so much to unpack, and monsters and stuff. Like there's so much to unpack, but she did it so seamlessly. There's nothing like shedding light or putting a spotlight on any one important aspect. It's all just like in a little bow and handed to you. And then you just like, you decide, you feel what you relate to and you see and what you connect with. And like, I think that's what's so brilliant about her writing, is that it was just so seamless.
It seems like it so far. I think I'm gonna have to wrap up here. I do very much appreciate your time. This is a fun interview. I am hardcore advocating for season 2 with you as well now. Like I'm invested in this.
I'm so excited to see this.
I'm excited.
Make me look good, girl.
I will. Oh, trust I will. That will be very easy to do. I'm gonna have so much fun editing and talking about it.
This is so fun.
Yeah, thank you. It was great.
So lovely to meet you.
Yeah, it was super great to meet you. Thank you for setting this up. It was really great to talk to both of you. This is really special. All right, bye everyone.